Let's start writing the code and the class for the push button. So we are going to do everything in an iterative way, step by step, and add one functionality or one feature at a time. So the first thing we want to achieve is just to read the button state, okay, to get if the state is high or low, and then we are going to improve from that. And with that in mind, now we can create the push button class. So here I have a new project on the Arduino IDE. I'm going first to save that project, save as, let's say, push button like this. And now I am going to add, so I have just one main file. I'm going to add two new files here. By clicking here, I click on new tab, and here on the yellow box, I put push button.h. Okay, so the component is a push button. Let's name the class push button. So we need a .h and a .cpp. So new tab, push button.cpp. Okay, so from now on, I'm going to directly create, okay, the h and cpp file. I'm not going to create a class anymore in the main file. Okay, let's do things correctly from the start. So in the .h file, what I can already do is the setup for any new file, any new header file you are going to create, is to add the header guard. So if n def, and then I'm going to do push like this, underscore button underscore h, define, and the same push button h, and then endif. So now I can write my code, all the code inside the define and endif block here. And I'm going to create a class, so class, and then push button, okay, same as the file name. I start with an uppercase, and then for every new word I use an uppercase again. So curly brackets, and at the end I don't forget the semicolon. Okay. And I can directly write private colon public colon. And now we need to write the attributes and also the methods for the class. We are going to start with the attributes and put them as private. So what do we need? We need first the pin number, so byte pin, just as we need it for the LED. That's the same thing, okay? You have one pin connected for the button, a digital pin. And then I'm also going to add byte state. Okay, so we can keep the state of the button inside the class. Because what we want to do is to read the state. Okay, we want to know if basically if the button is pressed or not. So we are going to check if the state of the button of the pin is high or low, and then we can make some deduction. So I'm going to store the state inside the class. Whenever we read the state, I'm going to store the state. All right, and now let's write the methods. So first I'm going to declare the methods here. So the first one we need is, of course, the constructor, which should be a public method. So push button, the exact same name as the class. And I'm going to write first a default constructor, a default empty constructor. And I'm going to write another constructor, push button, with the pin number. And I'm going to put a semicolon. So then I need to define this in the C++ file related to the push button class. Great, and now what do I need after this? So I'm still in the interface. What do I need to add? So in order to be able to interact with the button, so I'm going to add a void init, so I can initialize the pin to input, okay, with the pin mode function. And I'm going to add read state. So byte read state. So that when you create an object from the push button, so you are going to use the constructor to give the pin, and then you're going to initialize the button with init, and then whenever you want to get the state, you just do button.readState, and you get the state, which is a byte here, okay, same data type as here, byte state, which will be high or low. Okay, so I think that's it for the header file. So because we don't really have many functionalities and features here, we can just write everything now and then write the implementation. If you have more things to add in the class, and we're going to see that in the following of this course, then don't write all the interface at first, okay? Write something small that works, write the implementation, and then iterate on that.